and we're going to replace the touchscreen on a Nintendo DS Lite. On this unit, the touchscreen works, but what we're going to do is, because it has a scratch here, customers requested that it be changed out. So the tools you're going to need a Phillips head screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver. You want both to be of the small variety. A tri-wing screwdriver, which is available. A hobby knife. And a pair of tweezers. You'll also need your replacement touch screen. To start with the unit, we're going to flip it over and open the battery cover. Just undo your screw here. And go ahead and open it up with the hobby knife. Set that to the side and go ahead and remove your battery. Alright, we're also going to remove the two rubber feet right here on the unit. Just put your knife under and lift them both off and set them to the side. Now we have a total of 7 screws. You have 3 Phillips head screws located in these 3 spots, and then you have 4 tri-ring screws, one located here, and then here, here, and here. So we're going to go ahead and remove all of our screws, starting with the Phillips. And we've got all 3 of them pulled out. There we go. One of the things required with replacing the touch screen is removing the border, the colored border of your unit. So that way you can transfer it over to the new touch screen. If you're just doing a shell change and need to keep your touch screen, it is important to be very careful, and I will show you why later when you're separating the touch screen. Now we've got all our screws out. You're just going to want to hold your buttons down and lift the case, and then you're going to just insert your flathead screwdriver and run it around the side. And then when you get over here around the volume button, you just lift it and it should pop right open. And now we have our lower outer shell. We can set this to the side, and we're going to go ahead and remove the left and right shoulder buttons. There's 2 small springs. You have the cylinder. You notice how I'm holding it. I'm just kind of keeping it. And these 2 springs are different on each one. They coil down differently, so that way they sit closer to the bottom. So if you do take it off and it falls apart on you, do make sure you put the springs back in the right spot. We have 2 Phillips head screws here and here holding the motherboard down. So we're going to go ahead and loosen and take these 2 screws out and set these to the side. And you're going to remove your antenna and your microphone clip. So you can use your tweezers or the small screwdriver and just insert it underneath the the end here and just lift them off. And you want to just set the microphone to the side, straighten out the antenna, and you're going to have to pull the antenna wire through the underside of the game slot. So, and you want to be gentle with it. You do not want to put any extra pressure. You don't want to cause any damage to any parts under the slot, and you don't want to rip that end off. You would have to remove the game slot in order to get everything out. Alright, we've got both of these removed. One part that makes this easier, you do not have to, but the touch clip here is very fragile. You can always send your unit in to us to repair, and we can fix almost any problem. If you do damage the touchscreen clip, I'm going to hold it up. It's very small and it is very difficult to resolder these points on this. So if you do not have any soldering experience, then that is a repair that you would not want to try on your own. It is quite an advanced project to take. So you're just gonna open your unit and push the motherboard out just by pushing on the lower screen. And here you have your upper LCD ribbon clip. So you're just gonna use your fingernail and fire up the small black lock, and you can separate the motherboard from the upper half of the unit. We can just set that to the side. Here you have the same thing, clip there, but you'll want to first, as you can see, the ribbon cable is very small and fragile on this. So you'll want to take your hobby knife, and right here on the front, just pop the catch up there, and you can use the back of the hobby knife to nudge that ribbon cable out. And here on the front side, you'll just use your fingernail. You can also use the flathead screwdriver. Just lift the clip on this connector and you can pull the lower assembly out. Set the motherboard to the side, and we have the lower LCD and touchscreen assembly separated. So what we're going to do now is, right here there is a small rubber double-sided sticky pad that separates the two parts. So you're going to use your hobby knife, and you're going to be careful. You do not want to scratch your LCD, or you will have to replace that as well. But you just insert the blade underneath of the rubber and slowly move it across, going around the screen. You should be able to see inside between the two, and you will want to barely see the edge of your blade. And just slowly move it around the entire outside perimeter. Always start with the bottom portion, as when I get around to here, I make a full circuit